in the hallway, please.
Here's your award, now get out of here.
I didn't quite say that. Thank you all for being patient. It's kind of exciting when you receive an award and there's a whole bunch of people, so it's really. Our next recognition is this is a very important month, and I would say particularly for women, because not only is it Breast Cancer Awareness Month, more importantly, a very quiet one is the National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And sometimes we just don't focus on that. We keep quiet. And that's what we should not do. We need to be there for folks. So, we talked about some wonderful employees that have done some great things and talked about collaboration. Well, I'm going to bring up a group that has a tremendous collaboration within the county and with our outside county partners. So I'm just going to have all of you come up without reading your names, and I'll have you introduce yourselves. Why don't we just come on up? I have quite a few names to read off, and it's just easier if I just have you share them. So October has quite a bit. Just come on up here. All right, you win the prize. Purple shoes, purple hair, and a purple shirt. That's going all out. Supporting domestic violence is really an important aspect that has come to daylight over the last couple of decades. And Riverside County has really taken the forefront. And in fact, we've had other counties ask what we're doing and how we're doing it. We have had 45 years of dedicated victim services with our Riverside County Division of Victim Services. And we're fast and local access to emergency assistance, whether it's within some of the partner agencies as well as our hospitals. And we have DVS uniquely hosts a Joint Powers California Victim Compensation Board, and they have a claims unit that we help with the victims. The Family Justice Center model and full spectrum partnerships. I'm going to have somebody else go a little more in detail. The Innovative Emergency Response Partnerships, the Comprehensive Trauma-Informed Supports. There is just not just one piece to this. That's why we stand out. We've taken an issue and expanded services and keep building on what is working and how can we be there as a support for more and more those people, because it's not just women, it's men and women. Who's gonna? There you are. Why don't I just have you take the step further before we just give the proclamation, and then we'll pass the mic and everybody can introduce what agency, just so everybody can have a feel of the agency.
Perfect. Well, first of all, thank you, Supervisor Spiegel, for bringing this important topic, to the community so that people have awareness about all of the partners that come together to provide services to some of our most vulnerable members of the community. My name is Patricia Cárdenas. I'm the Assistant Director to the Division of Victim Services at the Riverside District Attorney's Office, and it is a pleasure to be up here with all of these partners. We work very closely together. There's a couple of things that I think are important for people to know. We collaborate, for example, with the Crime Survivors Roundtable, where we discuss gaps in services, things that we could improve to help the community. Also, I know that there are members of the Tribal Alliance, and we have a domestic violence subcommittee meeting where we talk about that specific population and how we can provide better services. So I'm just really grateful for you bringing awareness to this topic, so thank you.
I start from an end? Okay. Board President for NORA. Formerly the Riverside Area Rape Crisis Center.
Adriana Mars Snyder, CEO for Nora. I don't have to repeat. There you go.
La Portia Lopez, Mental Health Coordinator with Nora.
Joseph Yanez, Victim Services Manager with the Kuya Consortium.
This is AJ, and I'm Crystal, and we're with the Riverside County Child Assessment Team at our UHS Medical Center.
Hello, I'm Jeffrey Lee. I'm from Domestic Violence and Abuse Protection, also known as DVAP.
Hello, Issa Grave, Director of Operations for His Daughter's House.
Marshall Hamilton, the Executive Director for the Safe Family Justice Centers.
Yvonne Bennett, I am the program coordinator, hi, with the Riverside University Health System Safe Clinic. We provide forensic exams for victims of domestic violence.
Lindsay Kornatzer, the Victim Services Coordinator for Partners Against Violence.
Damaris Robles, and also with Partners Against Violence.
Bonnie Rice, Program Manager at REACH, and also our Trauma Recovery Center in Hemet.
Magda Stewart, CEO for the Trauma Intervention Program, also known as TIP, and I have Marilyn Skirbin and Don Powell with me.
I am Joanna Lechuga. I'm a Victim Services Supervisor with the Division of Victim Services.
And we are all, the rest of us, also from Division of Victim Services. So thank you so much.
You've been around a long time, Supervisor Washington.
Oh, here we go again.
No.
Let the old man talk.
Yeah. You've had experience with TIP and some of the other programs. Share your feelings on this.
Oh yeah, easily. This is such a worthwhile effort, and I think it's important that we make it public so that people know the organizations that are moving the needle on domestic violence. I also happen to have some key involvement back 25, 30 years ago, and going forward with breast cancer. Served on the board of the original race that we did, Race for the Cure in Temecula. My wife worked on that committee for the race. We've lost friends to breast cancer, and so it brings a sharpened focus for us individually, personally, on that particular topic. But I'll share another one with you as well. When I was a council member in Murrieta, I worked alongside a council member from Temecula, Ron Roberts, who's no longer with us. But we were the Southwest Committee that focused on domestic violence and how we tackle that issue in the Southwest. This would have been 1998 through 2003 or so. But from that grew before Family Justice Centers, SAFE came out of that effort. So my involvement in this kind of goes back a ways, and it just really warms my heart to see so many people engaged in this effort to bring awareness, which oftentimes results in a reduction in that issue. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Supervisor. Look at those shoes right there. Yeah. You don't mind standing right here?
And she's got a purple phone even.
Look at that, purple phone, purple shoes.
Yeah.
Good job, purple hair.
That's great.
Let me just, I'll be brief, but we don't necessarily potentially understand the depth of domestic violence in our communities until it actually hits home. And just recently, I had a cousin actually who just called me. I'm talking about a few weeks ago. And obviously, unfortunately at home, she was actually going through domestic violence for years. She just never said anything. And she's empowered. She's an educated young woman. She's got cousins that care for her and that are in positions like myself and others. And she never took the time to put in a phone call because maybe being embarrassed, maybe fear, who knows. But she finally took that step. And obviously, we're doing what we can now to ensure that she's taken care of and that her ex doesn't necessarily come around anymore. But until it actually hits your backyard, hits your home, when it hits your family member, that's when you really get that strong sense of commitment to do more, at least for me. I think we've always done what we can, no matter who folks are, not knowing who they may be. But once again, when it's someone you love, you want to go further. So I just want to say thank you for all the work that you do.
Just a tad on my personal experience. I served on Alternatives Domestic Violence, the board for years. I was in Corona. They had a sub advisory committee also, and served on that. And I was a tip volunteer for almost 2 decades. In the Corona was started before the Riverside County tip group, and we're still separate. So Corona still has their separate, and I was on there. Took the very first call, March of 1996. And so it tells you that you don't know who's doing what. And this is why we need to recognize those that are reaching out to parts of our community, as Supervisor Perez said. Until it hits somebody you know or somebody in your family, you don't recognize that it's happening. So this is our way of saying we need to make awareness. In our county, there's so many things that are going on, and we get wrapped up. But you know what? We have a tremendous support system for those that are in need. And I want to thank all of you. Did you two want to say anything?
Well, I just wanted to thank all the organizations for your hard work. Like the both supervisors mentioned, I think when it hits home, that's when you know that it means something that's very powerful. And in my family, a lot of women have gone through this, but they have reached out for assistance. And it was probably one of your organizations that are here today. So just on behalf of the 5th District, thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you.
I also want to thank all the county folks and the nonprofits for all the work you do in this very important issue. As a member of the legislature, I sat on a select committee on domestic violence. We had hearings up and down the state. One of the things that I heard very clearly was the need to start early. And as a high school teacher, I was very encouraged to hear that discussion, that domestic violence needs to be addressed at an early age with young people, and to talk about their interactions with each other and how they need to interact with each other with respect. And I think the work that we do in that area could also help to reduce domestic violence. Thank you.
I don't want to read, I would love to read it all, but time's ticking. And I do want to read just one paragraph, because this may astound some of you. An estimated 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men in the United States have experienced violence, physical harm, or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. About 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 women have endured severe physical violence by an intimate partner. Look around the room. We have had some victims. It's now at a time in our society to seek help, and that it's okay to share something that was not supposed to happen. So thank you all, especially all of you. one of my favorite group of people. So thank you.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Somebody want to come over here?
I'm sorry, I'm making her bad. I'm making her bad.
Oh yeah, get the shoes in the front.
All right, yeah, all right, let's do that. Let's talk. Thank you so much. Thank you.